Summer 2026. Barcelona lost 120 goals. Then they spent £87 million without replacing a single one of them. This is the story of a transfer window that solved a problem nobody was asking about, while the one problem that actually matters sits there, unresolved, with less than a month left on the clock. 4 seasons. 120 goals. Whenever Barcelona needed a single chance finished, in a title race, in a Clásico, on a Champions League night that actually mattered, they knew exactly who to look for. That's gone now. Robert Lewandowski's contract expired, Barcelona didn't renew it, and instead of one more European chapter, he signed with Chicago Fire in Major League Soccer. No transfer fee. No replacement lined up. The position went from filled to empty in a single afternoon. No striker. So Barcelona went looking for an answer. What they found instead was Anthony Gordon, £69 million from Newcastle, the club's biggest individual outlay since Frenkie de Jong arrived back in 2019. Newcastle didn't want to sell him. Gordon had become one of their most important attackers, a boyhood fan turned first-team fixture. It took a release clause-sized bid and a player pushing hard for the move himself to prize him away at all. Gordon can beat a defender one-on-one. He can stretch a back line until it breaks. He can create a chance out of nothing down the left. What he doesn't do is replace 120 goals. Barcelona bought speed. They forgot to finish. Here's why that gap is bigger than one missing name on a score sheet. Hansi Flick's entire system is built around somebody occupying both opposing center-backs at once, pinning them, dragging them out of position, creating exactly the kind of space Lamine Yamal needs to receive the ball in dangerous areas. Without that reference point up front, Yamal gets less room to work with. Rafinha ends up dropping deeper just to touch the ball. Crosses arrive into the box with nobody there to attack them. Barcelona don't just lose goals when that position sits empty. They lose the structure the entire attack is built on. Every cross still arrives. The striker doesn't. And Gordon isn't built to fix that. Neither is the next name that arrived. Karim Adeyemi. Borussia Dortmund. Genuinely fast, genuinely dangerous in transition, fast enough that his sprint speed once topped the Bundesliga's own tracking data for an entire season. £18 million, roughly a quarter of what Gordon cost. Another wide player. £87 million combined, and the forward line still has no focal point, still no name built to do what Lewandowski did for 4 straight years. To critics, that's not an oversight. That's solving the wrong problem, at exactly the moment the right one opened up in front of them. Here's what makes that especially hard to defend. For 5 straight seasons, Barcelona weren't even allowed to spend like this. Their wage bill had exceeded La Liga's salary cap since 2021, forcing them to rely on selling off future revenue just to register new signings at all. A workaround that kept the lights on but never gave Hansi Flick the freedom to simply go and buy what the team actually needed. This year, that changed. The reopening of Camp Nou, new revenue finally recognized by La Liga, and Lewandowski's exit freeing up wage space all lined up at once. For the first time in half a decade, Barcelona could spend like a club their own size is supposed to spend. They finally had the freedom to fix anything. They spent it on 2 wingers. If you think that's a smart use of a transfer budget, drop smart in the comments. If you think Barcelona are ignoring the one hole that actually matters, drop mistake. Let's see which one this comment section believes by the time this window closes. Barcelona aren't blind to any of this. They've been chasing a solution, they just haven't been able to close it. Julian Alvarez. Argentina's starting striker, a genuine world-class number 9, still in his mid-20s, currently at Atletico Madrid. He's also the reason Barcelona know exactly what they're missing. Last season, in the Champions League quarterfinal, Barcelona were reduced to 10 men at Camp Nou and conceded a free kick just before halftime. Alvarez stepped up and curled it past the goalkeeper himself. Weeks later, the same opponent eliminated them again, in the Copa del Rey semifinal. The striker Barcelona want most is the same player who helped knock them out of 2 competitions in 1 season. That should still make this the easiest transfer in football, a striker who reportedly wants to move, a club that desperately needs exactly what he offers. According to multiple reports, Alvarez even agreed personal terms, a 5-year deal, everything in place on his side. Atletico said no anyway. They paid roughly £82 million for him, that valuation hasn't moved, and their position all summer has been unmistakably clear, not for sale. A striker said yes. Barcelona still don't have him. He wasn't the only name that fell through. Bournemouth's Junior Krupi, a younger and cheaper alternative, needed foot surgery and is out 3 to 4 months. Dusan Vlahovic, a free agent with no fee required, is reportedly drifting toward other clubs entirely as talks stalled. Every door-marked solution this summer has come with a catch attached to it. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Europe, this exact problem kept getting solved. Clubs half Barcelona's size found a way to sign a recognized number 9 this window. Barcelona, freshly free of 5 years of financial restriction, couldn't close a single one. So Barcelona did something almost nobody predicted. They stopped looking outward and looked at their own academy instead. Hamza Abdul Karim, 18 years old. An Egyptian striker whose loan from Al Ahly was made permanent this summer for a little over £1.5 million, a rounding error next to everything else spent this window. This past Friday, in a preseason friendly against Birmingham, with former Birmingham Academy product Jude Bellingham watching from the crowd, Hamza wore the number 9 and scored twice. 1 penalty. 1 instinctive finish, pouncing on a parried rebound inside the box. As a striker you have to appear in those situations inside the box, and today he was there, Flick said afterward. That's what I asked of a 9. An 18-year-old, 2 preseason goals into his senior career, is currently the closest thing Barcelona have to an answer. And even that answer might be shrinking. Ferran Torres, one of the few players in the squad who can actually play through the middle, is reportedly in advanced talks to join Paris Saint-Germain. If that move goes through, Barcelona wouldn't just still be missing a proven number 9. They'd be down to a teenager with 2 competitive appearances and nobody else who's ever really played the position. Maybe that's exactly how this story is supposed to end, not with £69 million, not with a striker prized away from a bitter rival, but with a teenager from Al Ahly who cost less than the shirt sponsorship on his own jersey. Or maybe it's a warning sign dressed up as a feel-good story, a club so unable to close a deal for a proven number 9 that hope is now resting on 2 preseason goals in a game that ended in a shootout loss. Nobody outside Barcelona's own boardroom knows for certain which version of this story is being written right now. What's certain is the deadline. September 1st. Every sunrise without a proven striker is one less chance to fix the biggest problem in Barcelona's squad, one more day closer to opening next season exactly the way last one ended, against the same opponent that already knows how to punish this exact weakness. The number 9 shirt still hangs in Barcelona's dressing room. The goals don't. Maybe this is nothing to worry about. Maybe the teenager really is the answer, and this becomes the feel-good origin chapter of Barcelona's next great number 9. Or maybe the window closes with Gordon and Adeyemi both installed in a forward line that was never short of wingers, a proven number 9 still nowhere on the roster, and a teenager carrying a weight no 18-year-old should have to carry into a title defense. What we do know is this: 120 goals walked out the door this summer, for free, to Major League Soccer. £69 million walked in, for a position they already had covered twice over. Barcelona replaced Lewandowski's position. They still haven't replaced Lewandowski. Wingers can create a chance out of nothing. Somebody still has to finish it. If an 18-year-old ends up carrying Barcelona's attack this season, remember this video. Because nobody will be able to say the warning wasn't there. Subscribe for more stories the headlines haven't caught up to yet.